Oh, good. Well, I know this was supposed to be a pretty unstructured agenda today. Maybe a good thing to kick it off with, um, Jim, if you'd be willing to go first, would be to just share with our community a little bit more about LinksDAO and your project. And I'm happy to do the same about Autograph.
Yeah, Dylan, that would be great. Because we know we've been talking to our community about what you guys are doing over at Autograph, and I know they're thirsty for more. So, be great for you to give an overview. And as far as LinksDAO goes, I mean, it's a cool and unique project, and it's something that's entirely community led, and has some pretty lofty goals and ambitions. And it all started actually in December of last year when me and my buddy Mike Dudas came up with the idea of forming a golf DAO. And we basically put out into the ethos that we're going to form a DAO. This DAO is going to sell NFTs, generate revenue, and then we're going to create the kind of the best global golf club and global golf society that ever existed. As part of that, we're going to go out, we're going to buy a golf course, and everybody that has that NFT is going to have the opportunity to be a part of that. And everybody that owns that NFT, because it's a DAO, is also going to be able to vote on what the place looks like, what the place feels like, what the rules are, like what the happy hour drinks are. And people got really, really excited about it. So the beginning of the year, just 2 weeks after ideation, within 48 hours, we sold out our NFT mint. We sold just shy of 10,000 NFTs. And it's really been just gangbusters since then. So the project got a lot of press. There's a lot of notoriety. Just a group of folks getting together in such a fast period of time, and kind of self-mobilizing in such a short period of time, and with the desire to create something new and different and more inclusive and egalitarian and democratic. So since then we've really gotten the notice of the golf world. So we're in conversations with all of the major golf governing bodies like the USGA and the R&A. We're speaking with a ton of different PGA Tour players about how they can get involved. Steph Curry's involved in the project, Bill Murray's involved in the project. So we have some really interesting folks in our membership. And we've been able to go out and with all of these relationships that we've generated, call together like a ton of benefits for our community. And this is all part of the membership. So good example is like Callaway. We did a partnership with Callaway directly with Chip, their CEO. So all of our members get discounts on Callaway golf equipment at Top Golf, at Travis Matthew. And like we really want to be designing and developing and releasing the most valuable membership pass kind of in the world of NFTs and sports. And so we got about 20 of these partnerships where our members get like sick benefits from our partners. And this is just something that we're getting started on. So it's been a super fun project. If you're into golf, it's a pretty great project to be a part of. I mean, it's like I say to everybody on our core team, like part of the gig is playing golf. So make sure you're playing at least 1 or 2 rounds a week. And we're always looking to expand the membership, welcome new members that can get involved, kind of be a really active part of the community and design what this whole thing looks and feels like. So that's a little bit on LinksDAO, Dylan. And if you could for our LinksDAO folks now, give a kind of a rundown of Autograph for anybody that doesn't know.
Yeah, Jim, and I love the work that you do and the work that your team does. So I really appreciate that overview. I think you guys are doing a lot of really interesting things in the space that, like a lot of our mission, I think why these communities are going to be so great interacting more and more is because we both live in a space where Web 2 and Web 3 intersects. You're bringing a ton of real world benefits to your holders and your collectors, which is amazing. So just an overview on Autograph for people that don't know is we launched about a year ago selling our NFTs on DraftKings Marketplace with the goal of ushering in the new era of collecting. So we sold NFTs around Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Wayne Gretzky, Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, Tony Hawk, Justin Herbert, Rob Gronkowski. I mean, we have Devin Booker coming up, Rafael Nadal. You go through the list, and we've really been fortunate enough. I'll pause for the links now, people. Tiger Woods, yes. Tiger Woods collectibles. Enough, but really, we've been fortunate enough to work with some of the biggest icons and athletes in the world, as well as some entertainment properties. And our goal is to build brand new experiences in Web3 for their communities and for their audiences alongside them and take their communities on a special journey. So over our first year, we've been able to do a lot of exciting things from our members, spanning from multiple NFT airdrops for being a part of the Collecting ecosystem to in-person events. We sent collectors to the Tony Hawk Vert Alert, to the Slam private event. We partnered with music festivals to expand and build the brand there. We're able to give holders festival access to those things. We've done some LA happy hours and other fun stuff. And after our first year on DraftKings, we're now really setting ourselves up to build something special and different that I think really stands alone in the space. We're dropping a Tom Brady signature experience pass on 9/8, and it's a dynamic NFT that you'll be able to own in your wallet. By dynamic, it means it updates 16 times throughout the course of, or 17 times in the regular season and more if he makes the playoffs in the Super Bowl, which we think he will. Throughout the season, you get a dynamic NFT of Tom celebrating his season that gets you access to a slew of utility and benefits. We'll allow access to multiple regional in-person events as well as one event for all token holders. So a 2,500 person event to end the year with all the collectors and Tom himself and a lot of people in his universe will be there. There's going to be digital events we announced this week for any fantasy lovers here that Matthew Berry will be joining for multiple weeks of private fantasy advice with our collectors. I believe it is weekly throughout the course of the Tom Brady's Huddle. We have a bunch of other cool content creators joining for token gated media and autograph. We're going to be selling and giving away a variety of NFTs to our community exclusively for this group. And from there, there's going to be merchandise collaborations with people like LinksDAO and Brady Brand, TBX. Today, we announced Bitcoin sweepstakes in partnership with FTX. So anybody that buys a season ticket actually is eligible to get a Bitcoin, which we're pretty excited about. And we're going to keep bringing benefits to our community of holders. And it's a pretty interesting point in the life cycle of autograph in this company. We spent year one almost exclusively on DraftKings Marketplace, which was a third party. And now's our chance to build out our own platform, tech, and ecosystem. So it's still chapter one for us. And I couldn't be more excited to, one, get to know another community, and two, bring this brand new offering to life.
Dylan, it's great what you guys are doing, and it's been very cool to watch how fast it's evolved, and I think how much more there is to what you guys have put together at this point that a lot of folks know about. So it's great that you're able to kind of tell that story here, and hopefully you're telling it in a lot of places. I trust you are, and also Dylan. So, and for everybody on this call, some of the stuff that we've been talking about with Autograph is making some of these, these really cool products that Dylan was talking about available in unique and fun ways to, the LinksDAO community. So we're really trying to get some great alignment, between our two communities, because like Dylan said, there's a lot of overlap, and there's a lot of similarities in terms of kind of the makeup of our communities, and there's kind of that shared real love of sports. So the more we can do together, the better.
Wholeheartedly agree with that. And this is our first time we have the flexibility to really do something like that on our own platform. So Jim and I are going to keep looking into what we can do for this drop. But as you guys know, we continue to build with Tiger Woods, Colin Morikawa, some other people that we haven't quite announced yet, and some other big things and ideas in the world of golf. So as that happens, excited to keep the LinksDAO community close by. Because if you think about the amount of people that are in this space today, I know some people have a different stance on we're early, but just the numbers alone, the fact that everyone here has an interest in sports and golf, when you look back, everyone here is going to get to say they were there at the early days of the internet or whatever that analog is. And I know, Jim, you agree with that.
Yeah, wholeheartedly. Like I kind of remember those days. It's a little like furry and not quite in focus, but like the days of Prodigy and the early days of AOL, and when he got onto like Ask Jeeves and things like that, and kind of the beginning of even Web 2. Like we're all kind of right on the bleeding edge, and I think it's a really exciting time. And then one other thing we should actually talk about, and then actually I got a couple questions for you. But one thing that we should talk about in our communities and how we can somehow collaborate on this is, like, we are getting fairly far down the line in finding our Genesis golf course. And right now we have a proposal up to our community about all the different features that folks want in the golf course. So anybody on this call from LinksDAO, if you have not voted, please go vote so we can make sure that your voice is being heard in terms of what type of golf course you want, what area you want it in, so on and so forth. And then maybe, Dylan, we could do, in the early days of getting the golf course, we could do a community meetup event between Autograph and LinksDAO on our new course. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty exceptional. And when are you planning, or what's a general time for that to go live for these people to be able to actually access this golf course? I mean, I love the idea.
Yeah, so the original timeline we had was that we would have a golf course that hopefully people could play, because you gotta also take into consideration that it depends on the golf course you get. So some golf courses are amazing places that need a lot of work, right? So it's going to take a little bit longer to get those live. Some are golf courses you could play today and could be a top 100 course in the next few years if you work with a great designer. So right now we're kind of targeting that second group. And originally we said we'd have the golf course open to some sort of play by the end of the first half of 2023. But I think there's a chance. Again, we don't have we have a few on the short list, and these things take a lot of time. But in the best case scenario, we have people playing golf by Q1 of next year. So realistically, it's kind of I'm hoping it's right around the corner.
I so it's not simple to have a DAO buy and own and operate a golf course. That's not table stakes.
I'll tell you, it's an incredible learning experience.
Trust me, as someone who, and trust me, the autograph community knows as well. Pulling things off in this space is difficult, and it takes time, especially when you're responding to interest and trying to bring the best possible results. So I'm completely sympathetic. But whenever that day comes, Jim, I think we'll have some exciting announcements in the world of golf by then. So hopefully we can do something bigger with autograph and links down. That's what I was
Yeah,
teeing up anyway. Whenever the
yeah.
time comes, we'll have a lot of stuff to roll out.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And one of the things that's cool about this space, though, Dylan, is like you kind of you referenced it's different, but all of us here, like in the spaces, we're building something that's very novel and very new, and like there's no playbook for how to do it successfully yet. And in a few years, people are going to look back at what all of us have done as the playbook for how to do it or not do it because we make some mistakes too, right? And I think that's like you really only get a handful of opportunities like that, if any, frankly, in your life and your career. And I think it's something that all of us should keep in mind because it's pretty amazing. So Dylan, hey Dylan, I had a question for you, and there's
Sure.
actually a few people from the community that asked about this. So the first year you worked with all the celebs, how did you get linked up with all of them so quickly and like get them interested in partnering with you guys so quickly? Like kind of what's the genesis story there?
With all of these early partners and amazing people.
Yeah.
Well, one, I mean, having Tom Brady as a co-founder after just winning his seventh Super Bowl definitely, definitely didn't hurt. But Tom was someone I was fortunate enough to have a relationship with before the project, and when the seed of the idea came, he immediately got it. And I know he's in the world of memorabilia and collectibles, so collecting in the digital world just automatically made sense to him. And I said this on a few spaces this week, but what he gravitated towards was the ability to tell brand new stories in a more compelling way. The trading card is more of a signal of a moment in time, and you can remember the history around it and research it. When I think through these digital collectibles, you can tell such a more compelling piece and story that I think over time people will gravitate towards. But having Tom as a co-founder definitely didn't hurt because of, I mean, who he is. It goes without saying how amazing he is, and his reputation precedes him. And from there, I believe that people just felt comfortable working with Autograph in the space. A big part of it as well was that part of the vision was we were going to let their communities actually be able to purchase in credit cards and to sell these NFTs at an accessible price point. We sold the majority of our NFTs, at least in the first chapter for the preseason, between $12 and $20 on the primary sale marketplace. Some spanned up to 50, and out of 12 signed edition, which are our rarest, sold for 1,500 on the primary. But our goal overall was to really create an accessible offering. And I think that these partners saw the space and said a $5.4 million NFT selling in Ethereum. I'm not sure they knew what Ethereum was and felt like that price tag was a bit too high. So I think they really gravitated towards the approach of credit card first payments, an accessible price point. Let's dive into the space and get this new era of collecting kicked off and build from there. So all of our partners, though, have a proclivity towards wanting to be a part of Web3 and actually do something new for their audiences, which is exciting. We've had some partners on day one, or some people we've pitched, not partners, say, hey, we're really just in it for the check or the revenue upside. And we say this probably isn't the right activation for you. I'm sure there's a ton of companies willing to license your brand and likeness to be able to launch a collectible where there's no activity, no individually signed NFTs or anything like that. So I think it was setting the clear expectation and then really aligning with our vision compared to the thousands of pitch decks that landed on their desk right when this space exploded.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think that's a difference of the kind of this world too, where a lot of athletes, when they are, when they're doing deals, with any specific IP, or they're doing meetups, or they're signing autographs, or if you have a logo on somebody's shirt on the golf course, right? Like I think that there's a way that it's being done now, and then there's a way that the expectations are unfolding in the world of Web3. And I really do think, and I think this is a better, it's a better way to handle fan interaction than aligning the athlete's performance, the athlete's lifestyle, the athlete's social with the community. Like there's no better way to do it than via NFT technologies. Like it
None.
is none, and it is, you can do these iterative NFTs like you were kind of explaining before, and have them change through time, and those attributes that change from a week to week basis have different meaning. So it aligns the fan with the athletes in a way that's never been done before. And sometimes that takes more involvement and lean in from the athlete than they're used to. But like this is how you create super fans. So I really do that. I think that the NFT technologies for projects like LinksDAO and projects like Autograph, they're going to change everything because this is going to be the next generation of fandom.
I really I agree, and I think we're just scratching the surface. And this tech is going to get better and better. Like if you think about Bitcoin, Bitcoin was the V1 of the technology. I mean, if there's cryptography before, but then there was Bitcoin, then there was Ethereum, and EVM built on top of it. I mean, to allow for thousands of possibilities that I think the founders could have only dreamed of. And picture today where we are, where the tech is sophisticated, but it's going to only get better and better. So, like you said earlier, it's going to be funny to look back at us creating the playbook. I mean, these two communities working, giving feedback, advice to get there. And then I think we're going to see the space in an entirely different place a few years from now. But something you said that really resonated was wrapping everything together into one in an icon's world and being able to bring it to the fans in a new way. Our first step in doing that is this signature experience around Tom, whether it's Brady Brand, TB12, FTX, the things that he's a part of. We're going to be able to involve them both in real life events and in offerings, both for merch, TB12 stuff, all the above for their communities. But from there, I think it really is just step one. Like, let's bundle it together through the NFT offering. But longer term, I'm a strong believer that in every icon's ecosystem or iconic properties ecosystem, those fans should be rewarded for the time and loyalty that they show to the things that they care about. And I actually don't think that's been possible at scale before Web3 technology. You can think about it in some hacky loyalty program sense, but it's so inefficient that it would be impossible for companies to really do. So I think that's something that is really going to emerge in the space and something that Autograph definitely has its eye set on as we continue developing our collector score and product offering and everything that comes along with it. Well, I mean, I get on my soapbox when I get excited about that stuff, but if there's, a, but I mean, it's pretty early days and early in the space. Jim, is there anything else top of mind that you wanted to chat with today? I mean, I'm also happy to pull some community members up from either your community or ours to ask questions and chat through the projects.
Totally. Yeah, I think that one of the other, everything that we talked about, I feel like, again, you and I are pretty aligned with where we see things going in kind of the world of sports and fandom. I think one of the other things that's important is like community involvement and the community having a voice. I think like across society now, you see that. you've seen that for really become louder and louder over the last few years is folks basically wanting to have a voice, having their opinion be heard, and having a seat at the table. And with our project, that's a huge part of it. And I think we have at LinksDAO, and I'm saying this because this is what I hear, not necessarily just my own opinion, but we have like one of the most vibrant and engaged communities because they have a shared ambition and they're getting incredible shared value in terms of kind of the perks and benefits that the NFT brings them. But that they also have like a they're center stage in how the whole project unfolds. And I think that that's one of the other elements of Web3 that is just absolutely beautiful and makes for like aligning incentives and getting people excited about something that's shared and special and important to them, and then really getting to be a part of it. So I think that that's awesome as well. So with that, yeah, does anybody want to come up and ask any questions?
Whoever's the host, definitely feel free to have people up. And yeah, Jim, I think it's pretty amazing. We walk a line between having to represent both the interests of the community and the icon and all of the above together. But I think the communities have a really unique opportunity to get that access. And longer term, as we develop, of course, the goal is to have that voice just get stronger and stronger. And as I say, I think as Web3 technology progresses, it's going to become table stakes in the ecosystem for a more fair and aligned way for these relationships to exist. And look, we got a speaker. Ricardo, how you doing?
Hey everyone, I'm doing fine. How's everyone doing?
Doing great, Ricardo.
Okay, so I have a quick question that's probably on everyone's mind, and it's do we expect Tom Brady to see Tom Brady on the LinksDAO course so he could beat his buddy Steph Curry?
That would be a pretty fun activation. It really would.
Yeah. And Ricardo, I don't have an answer in terms of what will happen and what won't happen, but it is absolutely my expectation that that should happen.
Great, can't
The
wait to see
expect.
that. You guys have a good day.
Thanks, buddy.
Good to see you, man. I'd love something like that. Well, I mean, through this Brady signature experience, I think it's just the. I mean, we've had some interesting icon activations, had people to Buccaneers training camp to meet Tom, all of the above. But definitely excited to get some more IRL stuff going in the world of golf in the next quarter, couple quarters for autograph community, and of course, want LinksDAO community to be a part of it.
All right, Coach, what's up?
Hello, hello. How's it going?
Hey, Coop.
Appreciate your time, Dylan and Jim, today, talking about all this stuff. It's really exciting. Looking forward to seeing what Autograph and LinksDAO can do together. I wanted to ask a question for Dylan. Um, in terms of like Autograph strategy and capability, basically the on-ramp to get involved with these collectibles through credit card, right? US dollars. Uh, so right now at LinksDAO, we don't have that option for joining the membership, right? So I wanted to ask your thoughts on uh, how that has enabled your community to grow, how adoption has worked, and do you think that, there's a significant hurdle or opportunity either side of the option there for getting involved in these communities through Cash or USD and your experience there?
It's a great question. I think early on, I think in a year, people that were really, really interested have gotten comfortable with the tech and been able to purchase in crypto, which is honestly something that we're very excited to support in the future. But we felt like for these fan bases, the way to get the most fans was to do it in USD and to do it in a trusted way. And the DraftKings ecosystem, I mean, DraftKings obviously being a public company, was a trusted and is a trusted partner to take USD and funds, and they have all the regulatory steps you need to go through to be able to do it in a safe way. So we thought it was a great way to bring the existing fan bases in. when you think about what we're doing on Autograph, we're building credit card payments at first because we want to provide that same opportunity and stick to our mission of getting the masses in. But from there, the next thing that we're going to build in short order, either it's going to be end of September, early October, is crypto payments to give users that optionality. But I think it's blended into people buying NFTs for the first time with Autograph. A variety of our collectors, I mean, a ton of our collectors bought their first NFTs with us. And I would say it's tens of thousands of people, which I think is big to grow the space and grow the ecosystem. I mean, we're all on ETH, right? We're here to win together. So it's been a big way to get people's foot in the door to NFTs. But the perfect end state is to give that optionality. Like if you check out our site, you'll see a login button where you can sign up with email and a login flow where you can connect your Web3 wallet and create your account. So whether it's MetaMask, Coinbase, whatever it is. So our goal is always to give that optionality and flexibility to the consumer. But I really do believe for the space to grow, whether it's through a wallet or through a traditional account sign up, it has to be as easy as buying anything else online. Like I've been one of people have disagreed with me on this, and that's all right. But I look at the entire discipline of design and user experience design, and there are people that dedicate their lives to making things as simple for users as possible to exude any kind of behavior they want on the web. And I just think Web3 is behind on that curve of making things really accessible and safe. So credit cards are our way of doing that, and I think it'll 100% get there in short order for the whole space. Like I really do believe a year from today will just be a solved problem. We'll be transacting in credit cards, USD, whatever people want, and be booming as a space.
Yeah, it's really done a lot for mass adoption, and congratulations on your success there. I'd like to pivot this question and put Jim on the spot. Are there going to be future opportunities, perhaps? Don't necessarily need to get too specific, but for people to get involved in the LinksDAO ecosystem with cash, credit cards, USD, without going through all those steps to join the crypto world?
Yeah, Coop, that's a great question. And Dylan, I agree with what you said. I think that you need to clear the barrier to entries for people to get involved in any new space, not just Web3. And, I think minting an NFT for the first time is like a 7-step process between opening up a crypto trading account, entering in USD, converting that into Ethereum, and then getting a MetaMask wallet, moving it to the MetaMask wallet, and then connecting the MetaMask wallet to the NFT exchange or site, and then buying it. That is the process. And it's way too cumbersome for the vast majority of people to grasp. So I think it's important that we give optionality in these early days so we can get more people involved. And to your question, yes, we will be allowing that in the not too distant future. And then one of the other things we're going to be doing is, like inclusion and, making, things achievable for folks, I think is very important in this space. In the same way that Autograph kind of went out, you guys had, very reasonably priced NFTs, getting people involved. We're going to do the same thing with the LinksDAO ecosystem. So trying to bring in a heck of a lot more folks into the project, into, the membership in different ways at like a very accessible price point in the future, and be able to take advantage of a lot of the great stuff about this project and being part of something special. And that would be done again via crypto or credit card.
Exciting stuff. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jim, you can have our credit card flow. You can take your crypto flow. You can make some things happen here. Dude,
love it. Totally complimentary.
Connect the dev teams after this, right?
Yeah. It's funny. When we did our original mint, 1/3 of everybody that bought the NFT, it was their first crypto purchase. That's their first NFT purchase. They had to purchase crypto for the first time to get our NFT. But like I've heard so many stories, like Jared, who's the founder of 5-Iron Golf, one of our earliest partners. He's like, I needed to call like 6 people to figure out how to buy Ethereum just so I can mint your NFT. And we've heard that story. So I think if you have something that's like exciting enough and compelling enough, people will do it. But at a certain point, you kind of reach that, that limits of scalability that you need a platform for.
No, by the way, I totally agree. And our plan is, I was actually a little disappointed that we weren't able to take crypto for our first ever sale on Autograph. Part of the expectation was in our first round of sales, even last year, that it was going to be USD and fast follow crypto. So it'll come shortly. But I mean, I think that when you get into the ecosystem and really start to understand both the technology and what it means to be a part of whether it's Ethereum, Solana, or these layer ones, it's important to actually use the currency of that ecosystem. So I think as a first step, you can, I think payment in credit cards is fine, but longer term, I think people will be transacted in whatever the currency of the chain they're on is. And for us, the way that we're doing our mint for the signature experience is users will be able to pay in USD live. We're working with a great payment provider. And then from there, transfer that NFT right into their MetaMask, Coinbase wallet, whatever they want to be able to have that flexibility and optionality on Ethereum. So it just as our product develops, of course, it's all going to be possible. But on day one, we want to live up to that mission of giving the user the choice. And I see we got Coach up here as well. Nice to meet you, Coach.
Hey, right on. I appreciate the time. Thanks a lot. Hey, as a coach, I brought it, by the way, saludos de Chile, down here in South America, coaching baseball. I wanted to ask you about, I see you have some big names. I've been following this for a little bit, excited about it. And I'm interested in just kind of behind the scenes, if you can, what has been the response with most athletes, and I mean, I see Tom Brady, Simone Biles, Tiger Woods, Derek Jeter, but as you expand and as they say, scale, what's been the response from some of these athletes about, are they interested in the project? Are they hesitant? What's been the temperature right now with the market the way it is, but also with the opening some minds up to this future of fandom? Thanks a lot.
Of course, and we've really had a lot of success with getting athlete traction and athlete interest overall. We have more partner interest and had more partner interest than we've been able to handle. We've had to stop for the last six whatever months taking on brand new partners, whether it be an entertainment property. I mean, what I might have underrepresented here is we also have a deal with Lionsgate to work on a lot of their amazing movies and properties that are going to be rolling out end of this year and early next year, which we've been building for all of last year. So we're stoked on that. But anyway, there right now in this market, we just haven't been going after new talent in the same way because we want to really focus on our existing partners and existing community and delivering on that promise and experience. But obviously, when the market was as hot as it's ever been in the world of crypto, there was more macro interest for people to want to dive in. I think today people are saying, let's see how this shakes out a little bit. But for us, we haven't seen a significant change either way. I think there was a moment, I'm sure, Jim, you felt it, and a lot of founders in the space where just about everybody, it was all they could talk about, ending last year, rolling into Q1. But I don't think it's changed significantly by any means. And for Autograph, you'll see us announce a few more exciting partners that we've kept under wraps and continue building with the same. And then I think we're going to start to go from icons into some larger deals, whether it be a team, a league, any of the above, and start to build out brand new fan experiences there. So icons are still excited. We're still excited about them, but the next slate of things we roll out will likely be a little bit of a different flavor in the world of sports.
Yeah, and I'll follow up on that by over the last 7 months, like we've been engaged with kind of a lot of top athletes, and this is more specific to the world of golf, but a few outside of as well. And it's been a lot of education, right? Like this is a new space for a lot of folks. They're trying to figure out how it works, like how they can be successful in it. Because I think there's been a lot of celebrities and a lot of athletes that have not seen success in their initial projects because their initial projects were largely uninformed, right? Like just selling a digital collectible with absolutely nothing behind it and trying to charge thousands of dollars for it, like a picture of them, making a putt or something like that. Like it's that doesn't work. And if you really stumble early on in the space, it's hard to find your footing for a little while. So I think we've also just spent a lot of time just educating, folks that are trying to get into the space about our experience, how to do it right, and how you can do it in an effective way for the Web3 communities.
Yeah, and I think that's so. I think if you want to be dropping right now in this climate, in this environment, you have to be doing something special. And for the shameless plug, I mean that's part of what this signature experience by Tom Brady and by us is. You buy this NFT, and for his entire season, you get to go on a journey through both the art and the physical and digital utility, in person, token gated media, meeting his greatest teammates. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff that I mean the private fantasy advice with Matthew Berry, a lot of fun stuff that comes along with it. But I think if you're a big name or big brand in this environment, seeing where the space is, you really have to be delivering something if you want this to be your first step. And that's what we've been sharing with a lot of our partners. And I think it'll be reflected in our next round of product offerings.
These are great questions, by the way. Anybody else?
Totally agree. Insane one, Binks. We got a lot of great. I mean, great Nate. We got a lot of awesome uh, AG supporters in the crowd. Anything you'd like to add? Insane one also runs a great spaces of his own. OG Citrus Girl as well in there. Insane one runs a great spaces. OG Citrus Girl is always jumping on and making cool stuff happen around the web. Mikey as well. I see you.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, no, I appreciate this space right now. I am a autograph collector for those who are not familiar with me, and my journey as much has been like kind of what Dylan has described as hearing about news articles about a rock NFT selling for millions of dollars, and it's like what is an NFT and how do I get into this market? And my first learning experience was, you know, finding out what a gas fee is, and you can lose $50 by just entering into the market. And it was just such a turnoff immediately, that to me it was just like without the knowledge base, not worth it to go in to like even explore it. And Autograph did offer, I think that cash opportunity for you to get just familiar with the space in general. So a lot of my journey kind of started along that way. I have been very lucky as one of the community members in Autograph. I got to meet Tom Brady through the experience. I brought my father with me. We're from New England. He is a Giants fan though, so that was fun to have him there with me. But I think those special moments and opportunities that like Autograph has been able to offer is huge. And I think to what Dylan says is you want to bring familiarity to more people than just what it is today. And I think Autograph could be one of those companies that ends up being the bridge for a lot of it.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. And shout out to you, Binks, Stags, whatever, whatever name you're going
Many
by
aliases.
at this moment. What? Yeah. But no, but really, it's been amazing building with you and with this community, and I think it's been, yeah, it's the first step in a really long journey. And I think the world was in a state where they were excited to pay in credit cards and pay an accessible price to dive into the space, and I'm glad we could deliver on that. But now I think it's about us together building this brand new community fan experience and a place for fandom on Autograph. And I think projects like LinksDAO can be an amazing partner to us on that mission because you guys really have done something special in the world of golf. It's gotten a lot of attention, a lot of notoriety. I've been more than impressed and by anything I've seen, by everything I've seen. So, yeah, really excited to keep building on this journey.
Amen, man. Peter, what's up?
Hey, thanks so much. I really enjoy following what you are all doing at LinksDAO, and I think just seeing a lot of really organic growth and refreshing take on just the enjoyment, love, and really advancement of the world of golf. And I think love everything it's about, and it's a great use of the organizational approach. A quick question: do you have and you may have answered this earlier. I'm a little bit late to this discussion, but do you have a vision for the advancement of younger players or the outreach of golf to communities that may not have an opportunity to be near a course or have the exposure to the game, as a way to do you have an idea of incorporating that kind of outreach as part of sort of LinksDAO's mission statement?
Oh, Peter, that's a great question, and thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. So I think the answer is absolutely. And in the early days, like very early days, we're a project that generated a good chunk of revenue out of our initial NFT sale. We wanted to start giving back to the organizations and the communities that are going to help grow the game. For one, people that don't come from a ton of money and can't go to the private course next door, which frankly is most folks out there, but we really wanted to focus in on the communities that could benefit most from our support, and then also trying to diversify the game too. So we early on gave a bunch of our proceeds to our secondary proceeds to Eat, Learn, Play, which is an amazing charity. It's one of Steph Curry's charities. We're very involved with the First Tee as well, who does a great job of kind of growing the game from the ground roots, in terms of underserved youth golfers. And then also we're working with Roger Steele, who, if you guys don't know who Roger Steele is, Google him, look him up on Instagram. Like, the guy's doing amazing things for minority kids that are trying to get into the world of golf. He's like an absolute legend. So we're involved with supporting him as well. And then any of the golf courses that we open, we're going to make sure that we're dedicating really strong specific time to serving these younger golfers in these underserved communities, because we want this golf course to be, at least our Genesis course, because we want to have 10 courses by 2030. But our Genesis course, we want to be one of the greatest golf experiences in the United States, because the first one will be in the U.S. We want it to be special, easily a top 100 course. And we want it for our membership to be one of the the greatest places that they can play, but we also want to make it available to all these communities that you're talking about, right? Like, we don't want to be one of those classic high-end private golf courses where the walls are so tall you'll never see inside. Like, if you were to drive by, you wouldn't even know a golf course was there. And I think probably a lot of these people on the phone or on the Twitter Spaces understand what some of those properties might be. We really want to have the opposite, right? We want to make this place inclusive, and we want to make sure that we are serving a really strong purpose to helping folks from the communities that you're mentioning. Super important for the project.
Absolutely. And Jim, hopefully that's something, as our relationship develops and our communities get closer, we'll be able to hopefully support on with everything we're going on.
Awesome,
going in the next few months. So yeah,
absolutely. I appreciate that. That's great.
All right. Any other questions before we wrap this? Okay. I think that we're good to go.
Well, Dill, it's been a blast. I'm glad we connected on this earlier this week. I hope everybody, learned something new and, enjoyed the time.
Yeah, I would love to get these going as frequently as you'd like to, man. I mean, I think that this is just the first step of many. And I know there wasn't a ton of exciting stuff that we were able to announce today because of the work that we're doing behind the scenes. But I would just, for everyone in the audience, look at this as the first step of a long relationship between the autograph community and the LinksDAO community. So psyched to get to know you all and build together in the future. And thank you so much, Jim, as always, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You can consider this the alpha of an alpha, everybody.
Definitely. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you to everybody that tuned in.
Take care, everyone.